Can the Patriots make it 6 straight wins and covers when they host the Atlanta Falcons today? How about the Colts? 6-0 ATS in conference play. They visit the Steelers today. Can they improve to 7-0? Those are the two games I'm going to be breaking down today on the video report. Hi, everyone. Al DeMarco here, General Manager at DeMarcoSports.com. This, of course, is going to be your Sunday video report. All that and more coming up. But listen, guys, as I always like to say, I probably talk more about losing than winning. And yesterday, I did not win. Nope. Had my top-rated 15-dime best bet in college football. Was going with it on Tennessee against Oklahoma. And statistically, especially in the first half, the Volunteers had it all over Oklahoma. But where it counted most on the scoreboard, they came up short big time and lost that game outright. Of course, I couldn't watch that game being a YouTube TV subscriber like other 10 million people out there. Couldn't watch the game because it was blacked out as they weren't carrying the ESPN and Disney channels. But bottom line, that was potential college football 15-dime best bet winner number 9 out of 11 this season. And Saturday best bet winner potentially number 20 out of 27 the past 2 years. So I lost that play. But as I said yesterday, and I'm going to repeat today, losing is part of gambling. You have to accept it, you have to acknowledge it, and then you have to move forward. And it's why I've always had that philosophy of never celebrating the wins and never lamenting the losses, because you've got to maintain an even keel. And the one thing I will say to you is this. I have built up such a substantial bankroll this season because I was the #1 pro and college handicapper at DeMarco Sports last year. And I am #1 by far this year as well. And that's why today I've released my biggest play of the entire season. My first raise the bar 30-dime release. As you know, 99.9% of my plays are rated 5, 10, and 15-dime plays. None of these 150-dime plays, none of these 300-dime plays. I like a very narrow margin because I think that is the best way for you to know exactly how I evaluate the plays, how I rate them. And for those of you adhering to a proper money management system, you know how I like to play. You know how to allocate your bankroll. That is so damn important. To put this in perspective for you, I've only had 18 of these plays in the NFL since I created these sites 24 years ago. This is number 19. That's how rare they are. This is the first one since 2 seasons ago. Hell, in college football, where you have so many more games, I've only had 39 of them. And last year, I won 4 of my last 5 to close the season. It goes at 1 o'clock Eastern time. It's your 14-point double-digit destroyer. And just like all the other plays I've had in these top-rated 15-dime releases where I'm on a 39-23 roll, including 4 out of 5 in the NFL after cashing in with the Ravens on Thursday and the Chiefs on Monday. It's the half price play of the day using coupon code HALF, HALF. Or you have the option, if you've never been over at DeMarcoSports.com, you see at the bottom of the screen, you can get my plays, all the plays of all the handicappers today for free, using the 2-day free all access pass. If you've never taken advantage of it, today's a damn good day to take advantage of it because you get today's plays and you pick another day within the next 7 days and get them for free. You can pick next Saturday. That would be my recommendation. Today, the normal cost of the all access pass is $109. Again, you have the choice. And if you have any questions, you can always check it out over at DeMarcoSports.com and simply question customer service if you have any questions. Real quick about losing. And the reason I developed this philosophy, listen, and I'm just going to tell you a quick story. You can always skip forward. I always mark the little chapters here at the bottom of the video, so you don't have to listen to me if you don't want to. The reason I developed this philosophy, 1987, I was still in I'd been betting since I was in high school, okay? But in 1987, beginning of the baseball season, first 6 weeks, I made a fortune. Now, back then, a fortune meant $150 to $250 a week, which was pretty big money. I was a writer at the time, sports writer at the time. I was making a whopping $24,900 a year. But that was a lot of money back then, okay? Had bought my first Camaro. I was rolling. Beaches, blondes, bikinis, brunettes, baseball betting. A lot of B's in there, maybe some beer too. Not necessarily in that particular order, but that's for another video. And then in week number 7, I had a friend who said, hey, he came up with a baseball betting system. And this is why I think systems are such BS. He said, hey, why don't we simply, and this was over Memorial Day weekend in 1987, he said, why don't we pick 5, 6 teams, and at the beginning of the betting week, why don't we simply bet them because they're playing well and simply double our bet if they lose, because these teams will not go on extended losing streaks. And I thought, what the hell? It seemed like a good idea at the time. Yeah. 5 of the 6 teams lost 4 games in a row. 3 of the teams lost 5 games in a row. I had to bail out at that point. I lost because, again, these teams, because they had been playing well, were favorites, and these teams were doubling our wager each time. So suddenly I'm taking $25, $50 wagers. Now I'm suddenly betting $100, $200. Danny the bookie. I'm going through Danny at the bookie at the time. He's telling me, he's asking me, Al, are you sure you want to do this? Because he knows this is not the economy of scale that I'm normally wagering. And I'm like, yeah, Danny, I want to place this wager. Because remember, pickup is every Monday with Danny the bookie. By Friday, I was down. So at the end of the week, at that point, I'd lost $2,400. Again, I told you what I was just making. I had to quit. Come Monday morning before pickup, I had to go take an advance on my Visa card because my pal didn't have the money to pay. He kept going through Sunday. I had to take an advance on my Visa card and loan him $1,800. And total, Danny the bookie got from me close to $4,600 when I made the pickup. I had to go into the bookie retirement home at that point and take an extended vacation for about 6 months until I could start wagering again. But it taught me a valuable lesson. A, betting systems are ridiculous because there is no proven system. And B, you get over losing when it becomes painful. And if it becomes painful, you have to stop. And 2, or 3, I should say, don't rely on any system. Go with your gut instinct. Go in your inclination. And if it becomes painful, not only do you have to stop, but it affects the way you look at games, which led to my philosophy of never lamenting the losses and never celebrating the wins. It also shaped my financial strategy when it comes to investing. I got seriously into financial markets probably about 8 or 9 years ago. And listen, I've lost, when some guy by the name of Trump opens his mouth and he mentions the word tariffs, China, I've lost $35,000, $40,000 in a day. I'm not a day trader, but I spend a couple of hours a day analyzing the market. And I use the same type of philosophies I do in analyzing games and betting as I do in playing the market. And again, I'm not a day trader, but I've lost $35,000, $40,000 in a day, and I've made substantially more than that in a day based on some of my investments. But again, if you can't take the pain, you can't be in the game. Just my personal philosophy. Okay, let's talk about the games here today. In terms of the free pick roll, 81 and 49 won my top play yesterday with Arizona, loss with Georgia Tech and Washington State, push with Minnesota, a game that was 3.5, bought the half point down. I recommended it to you, and they ended up winning by 3 against Michigan State. Not lamenting the fact that I didn't use Arizona instead of Tennessee. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. That's how it goes. So today, my top play, I'm looking at the Patriots, guys. I'm looking at the Patriots minus 4.5, and I just don't understand it. I mean, what has Atlanta done? Okay, you discount the fact that Atlanta lost to Miami last week because they had Kirk Cousins at quarterback, but they lost to San Francisco the week before. This is a team that got shut out by Carolina earlier this season. It's been a roller coaster ride for the Falcons this year. The Patriots have played damn well. And they're 5-0 against the spread against teams with losing records. They've won and covered 5 in a row overall, 6-1 their last 7. Drake May has just played great ball, and I like them here. Now, Robinson, of course, are going to rely on Robinson to get the ground game going. But the Patriots are second in the league in run defense. No running back has topped 50 yards against the Patriots so far this year. And overall, they're giving up just 76 yards a game. Now, Robinson may top that number, but I think the Patriots are severely underpriced in this game. I think New England should be 7.5. 4.5 to me is a bargain basement. Came this close to making the Patriots my top play today. That's how much I like New England. And this Atlanta team is just averaging 17.1 points a game this year. And Michael Penix Jr., his quarterback ratings, 49.1, 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And his accuracy is just not there. How many times do you see him sail passes over his potential receivers or his targeted receivers, or the ball ends up past their outstretched hands or down at their feet? Just doesn't have it. Anyway, like that. Next game, the Colts, -3.5 at Pittsburgh. You saw Pittsburgh on Sunday night. I thought maybe the Steelers had a shot at beating the Packers, a Packers team that had been inconsistent up to that point. But you saw the Steelers just don't have the defense. And you look at the Colts coming off that 38-14 win against Tennessee. Daniel Jones, 272 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor, another monster game, 153 yards and 2 touchdowns. They lead the league in total offense, 385 yards a game, and scoring 34 points a game. Now, whoops, just hit my computer and the camera. Their defense is nothing to brag about. I mean, the 30th and third down defense are 24th in points allowed or in yards allowed at 345. But the Steelers' defense is just atrocious. So no matter how many points Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers put up, I just don't know if they can get the job done. Plus, I look at how the Steelers' defense was particularly vulnerable against Green Bay's tight end Tucker Kraft last week. He had 9 receptions, 143 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Jordan Love just kept going against him constantly. Well, I got to think Daniel Jones is going to exploit that weakness by going to rookie Tyler Warren, who has 37 receptions, 492 yards. I think that's the most by any tight end in the league so far this year. So I'm more than willing to lay the 3.5 points. And just like with the Patriots, I'm going to buy down that half point when the line is between 3 and 4.5. Not a lot of quality on the board today. If you want to ask me about a teaser, I'm looking at a couple of potential teaser teams here today. Perhaps the Chargers. There's a number I'd like to tease. Chargers are 9.5 at Tennessee. And a 2-team 7-point teaser, taking the Chargers down to 2.5. I think that's very realistic. The way they're playing offensively, and now they've got a pretty consistent ground game once more. You could take the Rams down to -7. Rams aren't really good off a bye, but do you really like New Orleans? 1-7 straight up, 2-6 ATS on the season with a rookie quarterback making his first start. You're looking at another big chalk with the Lions. Although that number has gone from 8.5 to some places up to 9.5, but that's still within the numbers I generally like. You could take them up to 10, and you could take them down to a field goal at home against Minnesota. You know what Detroit has done at home this year. So there's 3 potential teaser possibilities. Another game I looked at today was San Francisco, -2.5 against the Giants. 49ers have a lot of defensive issues, but boy, the Giants have so many offensive issues. How are they going to generate the points? So you have one team that's, with Mac Jones starting, I think has a little bit of an edge offensively. They're getting healthier on that side of the line of scrimmage. You have an opponent on the other side of the line of scrimmage. I don't know where the Giants have any offensive playmakers right now. So, the 49ers are a potential play. So anyway, there was just some of the other games I had looked at, but definitely my top 2 plays, Patriots would be number 1, Colts would be number 2. New England number 1, Colts number 2. That'll do it for today. Wish you well, guys, and we'll talk to you again soon. Good luck, everybody.